You are up for the January Love Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right. So, this is the January love reading. The general readings are already up for all of the signs. Feel free to check those out. Also, I will be doing the money readings in about a week or so, give or take. I do a lot of collective readings now. Whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. So let's go ahead and hop into this and see what we get, Pisces. May I have the energy for Pisces for January? May I have the energy for Pisces for January? Energy for Pisces for January. What is it that Pisces needs to hear? What is it that Pisces needs to hear? What is it? Something's... Okay, I'm taking this card, whatever this is. I'm going to set that one to the side, and I'm going to set that one to the side. What is it that Pisces needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Thank you. Flirt. Who sings? Is that R. Kelly who sings that song? Somebody sings a song called I'm a Flirt. I think it's R. Kelly. Anyways, so Flirt came out. It says, extend your lighthearted energy to others. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Flirt. Now, let me get these two cards that I set to the side. Sometimes, for those who don't know, if I'm shuffling and the cards fall a certain way or do something, usually I will go to it, depending on what the energy is, and then pick that card out, which I usually don't know what it is. And more times than not, it always goes with the reading, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. Well, let me tell you this. This flirting thing, especially for you singles, I feel like this flirting could lead to something, or has led to something. So I'm going to read this one first because this one is the conclusion of this. The third one is the conclusion. All right. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Getting to know each other. I feel like for some of you, that flirting will lead to that. Where if you're single and you find yourself flirting, that may be the doorway, or should I say the gateway, to getting to know someone, to creating a bond with someone. I feel that could be the case. Now, this card that I set to the side is Honeymoon. And it says, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So for some of you, you may find yourself going on a honeymoon. For others of you, it could just be a vacation. Now, all three of these, I feel they do go together, but they do not have to. These could all be the same timeline or three different timelines. You know, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's go ahead and put some color to this. I want to get some tarot cards on the table. Can we clarify the cards on the table for Pisces? Can we clarify the cards on the table for Pisces? Can we clarify the cards on the table for Pisces? What is it that Pisces needs to hear? What is it that Pisces needs to hear? What is it that Pisces needs to hear? Bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. So that's also attention. too. It can be victory, but also it can be an attention card as well. It can be elevation too. I feel that for some of you, you're very good at being playful, which makes sense because Pisces is a pretty playful sign. A lot of the water signs are playful signs. So I feel that what you're doing, the energy that you're putting out, it is bringing attention to you. Now, something said in my head, not all attention is good. Not all attention is good attention. So that's the caveat. Keep that in mind. But you are bringing attention to yourself, and this will put you in the company of those who find you interesting. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So if you're wondering, 10 of Wands is what came out. Which 10s are about closing out a cycle and also putting the burden down. I don't know why. Something just said to me. Notice that you can't see her face because she has all these flowers. And something said to me, for some of you, you buried yourself in something. It could have been work. It could have been something else. I feel like that was kind of your, I don't want to say excuse. It is, but it isn't the excuse. It's more of to not have to put yourself out there. For some of you, you used other things like, oh, I have to do this. I have to take care of my mother. I have to work. I have to start a business. Whatever it is, I have to go wash the car. I don't know. But something, I feel like some of you took on all of this stuff so you wouldn't have to think about dating, or so you wouldn't have to deal with dating. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And I'm saying this again because her face is hidden. And I feel you just piled on all of this stuff to keep you out of sight. But now that is changing. Your energy is changing. May I have some more cards, please? And Wands is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you may have that in your chart, or you could be dealing with that sign. Some of you might be a cusp, where your birthday is closer to the end of March. Okay, that almost came out, but it didn't. Okay, thank you. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, which this is air energy, specifically Libra. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. For some of you, if you are dealing with an air sign, maybe you felt like they were a burden, or they came across cold and guarded, and you couldn't get to know them. And for that reason, you may be walking away from them. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For others of you, I think that you've been looking at stuff in the sense of, some of you might be paying attention to your age or your current status, quote unquote. And I feel like with the Queen of Swords energy, if you are in that energy instead of dealing with the Queen of Swords, then you're strategizing out your future. You're like, okay, I'm 28 years old now. I want to have children by at least the age of 35. I need to do this, and that to achieve this goal. Or I need to start planning for this. I feel for some of you that could be it too, which might be why you're ready to put yourself out there and do that. Now, for those of you who are not putting yourself out there, this energy here is saying, okay, it might behoove you to put yourself out there so you can get into this building the bond and getting to know someone. Now, what is this card? And thank you for that. I don't really read reversals in this deck, but the Seven of Swords came out. Again, this is a strategy card. It's amazing I was talking about that, about strategy. And also it can be about deception too. But like I said, strategy. It's amazing I was talking about that, and this is what's coming out now. And again, this confirms what I was talking about, where I was saying I feel like for some of you, you use all of this stuff with these 10 of Wands to keep you hidden. So you didn't really have to think about dating or whatever, whether you buried yourself in work or whatnot. And this sort of confirms that, because the Queen of Swords plus the 7 of Swords is the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is about self-imprisonment. Because don't forget, swords deal with the mind and communication. So I feel like for some of you, you put yourself in a prison. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this. That way I don't have to worry about that. And you kind of been in that energy, Pisces. But that energy is changing. So, and I'm tempted to title this From Hidden to Seen. Now, also something saying to me, thank you. Look, the Empress. Some of you are dealing with the Libra. This is Libra, Taurus, and Cancer energy. The Empress. Or you just may have a lot of air in your chart. You may have a lot of Libra in your chart. Also, this can be about pregnancy too. Just keep that in mind as well. But going back to this, where you weren't speaking, and now you're being seen. Now, one thing I want to throw out there, I feel like for some of you, if you don't embrace this change energy, I believe you might end up with the Tower, where something is going to happen, where it will, you know how you see in the movie sometimes where someone has to perform on stage, but they're jealous. Not jealous. Okay, all right for jealousy. Go. There are no mistakes in tarot. 7 of Swords. So this is about strategy, can be about jealousy too. But when somebody, and also now, okay, that makes sense as well. If you end up being out in front of people, being more seen, don't be surprised if there is jealousy that follows. There may be some people who you deal with that are used to you hanging back and not participating and not engaging in stuff. So the attention may usually be on them because you don't step up and do that, where it's like you want to engage and talk and do everything else. So they get all the attention. But now, where you're more talkative, you're more engaging, you're flirting, you're confident, you're doing all this stuff, they might get jealous, because if the attention is on you and then it's not on them as much anymore, that might be a problem. But like I was saying before, I feel where, you know how they want to push somebody out on stage when they're nervous, and it's just like, boom. I feel like that will be the Tower moment for you, where if you stay in the energy of where you don't want to be seen and you don't want to engage with people and do stuff, there may be a Tower moment to force you to, where you don't have a choice. But I honestly feel it's just you'll make the choice to change your energy if you haven't already. I feel you're going to go from being unseen to being seen is what will happen. Yep, bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. This is fire energy. So yeah, I'm going to take a few more cards. I'm going to wrap this up. See if there's anything else. Anything else, Pisces? Thank you. That really came out. So 4 of Swords. Lots of Swords energy here. But this is the thing. With that, now we're back at the 2 of Swords again. And also, 8 of Swords minus 4 of Swords is the 4 of Swords. So for some of you, definitely you're protected throughout this process. But I feel that some of you might need to do affirmations to help you build up your confidence, or do some type of meditation in doing that. But with the Empress card here, there is some type of abundance. There's some type of birth that's happening. Some of you could be pregnant, but I'm not really getting that. But it is a possibility with this card. But I honestly feel like you're giving birth to a new you. It's almost, and this is the interesting thing. I just noticed this. With the 10 of Wands here, you see how, again, you can't see her face. With the Empress, you see all of these flowers here. I feel like this is the change in energy, where you took on all this stuff, but now instead of holding them above you, where you're hiding your face, now you're turning them into this dress. And you made something glamorous, is what you did. That's the energy switch I'm talking about. Right there. That's the energy switch I'm talking about. So going from From being unseen to being seen. From being unseen to being seen is what that is. Or not being seen to being seen. All right. So Pisces, that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, Pisces, be blessed.